Hey everyone, welcome to your Capricorn New Moon workshop. Let me know how you're feeling with this, but I personally feel with this Capricorn New Moon, of course, is going to bring a new cycle, but feels like the start of something much bigger, something much more long lasting. For those of you who have maybe been feeling like the start of 2024 hasn't been going the way you originally anticipated or have wanted things to move faster, this is where those energies get to ignite, get to blossom, and this forward movement is going to happen. What I want you to get clear on at the very start of this new moon, and you can even pause it after I pose this opening question, is what is your time worth? And we're not just talking from a monetary standpoint, although if you want to do that, you can. But is your time worth love? Is your time worth respect? Is your time worth loyalty? Is your time worth blank? What is it worth for you? Because if you know an hour of your time is always going to include love, devotion, passion, excitement, expansion, and you have that as a core belief, then you are going to vibrate at that frequency. It would not make sense if you know what your time is worth, if you know what you are worth, that you'd ever lower that because people get to rise up to your level. You do not diminish your worth, your time, unless you choose to for whatever reason. But I want you to pause this and write down, my time is worth blank. And for those of you who run a business, and you want to put a dollar amount and you feel confident about that. The one thing, of course, when we're doing paradigm shifts, belief building, is that you have to believe it. If it's something that you can believe and get behind and excites you, write that down and then we'll continue. So pause, write out what your time is worth. Boom, welcome back. So with that, I want you to keep that close. I want you to affirm that every single day, because if we're talking about Capricorn energy, Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign ruled by Saturn. Cardinal energy initiates, it gets things going, which is why I think and know that with Capricorn season, being in January, people are creating these resolutions, these new goals. They're initiating energy that they can bring in to this earthly plane, right? Which makes sense. And then we get to Aquarius season and we kind of throw the rule book out and we're like, okay, let's see what's working, what's not working. But since we're still in Capricorn season, this is a Capricorn new moon, the first new moon of 2024. There's lots of initiation that can go on that's getting you rooted and grounded. And of course, everything starts in the mind. And if we pull up this chart of this lunation, we can see that with this Capricorn new moon, that Mercury, if we're talking about mindset, is coming off of that square with Neptune. And Mercury is going to enter Capricorn on the 13th of January. Venus will enter Capricorn on the 23rd of January. Why I'm bringing this up is with this new moon, there might be things that you are planting, that you are initiating, that will then get fertilized. Once Mercury moves into Capricorn, you might find blessings or pleasure from what you are setting forth around this new moon once Venus comes into Capricorn and then around that end of January through to February. So this is one of those things where if you went and planted a garden and you knew always, because every single year you'd plant lettuce, and 3 weeks in, you'd know you'd have fresh lettuce, then you would be excited for the dinner party that you're going to throw in a month time. You can have fresh lettuce from the garden because you know every single year you plant these seeds and they grow. The thing is, when we're doing this work, it's the same work every single time to get to the next level, but it's being diligent with your processes and understanding that when you plant these new seeds, when you plant these beliefs into your garden, which you always do, into your subconscious, into your belief system, that it just takes that constant work and dedication. Even if there's a day of hail or there's a day when deer break into the garden and start chewing the lettuce, you're like, I know this is going to work. I know that if I plant more seeds, keep watering them, keep being diligent, keep putting boundaries, that I know this lettuce will grow. I know these beliefs will grow. And maybe if deer break in, then you're going to get a better fence. You're going to work on your mental health if there are intruders. You're going to work on your boundaries, very Capricorn, very Saturnine energy. If there are things in your life that are making it harder for you to believe these things, whether it's certain people, certain energy, certain jobs, certain obligations, you're like, I'm not going to use this as an excuse anymore. I'm going to block it out. I'm going to use my words and my discipline to create this structure that is going to serve me for the next 6 months, right? If we're looking with the lunation cycle, we're going to reap these rewards during the Capricorn full moon. And there's also 2 Capricorn full moons. For those of you who have the 2024 astrology guide, you probably already know that. But we're going to have 2 Capricorn full moons this year. So that will be interesting as well, that there may be a cornucopia of blessings that you're going to be reaping during both of those Capricorn full moons. But for now, I just want you to ensure that you're taking accountability for your actions or your lack of action, and you're deliberately choosing things that are in alignment with that opening belief that you crafted. My time is worth blank. And if it's not worth that, then you get to decide whether or not you want to continually stay in that obligation. Now, P.S. I'm not sure if any of you frequent Whole Foods, but there's this one smoothie that's called the Kickstarter, and there's like literally chunks of ginger. It's a game changer. And maybe for some of you, that's getting your health on track, your body, your mind, your spirit, your nutrition, whatever that is for you. Maybe your time is worth having the best health possible, and you're not going to jeopardize your physical, mental, spiritual health for going out drinking, or people pressuring you to eat things you don't want to eat, or missing time where you go to yoga, Pilates, the gym, whatever that is. You're like, my time is worth the best health I've ever had. So I'm going to dedicate my time to cultivating a healthy relationship with my body. I think that's amazing. Then you would make that a priority. And again, if we're working with this Capricorn new moon energy, we're seeing the sun and moon conjunct Pluto. There's such power in these structures. And it also gets to illuminate the truth that oftentimes we ourselves are the common denominator. Yes, you can have events that are happening in your life that you can't control. If there are situations where loved ones are going through a hard time, or if you're experiencing physical death in your life of a family member, a loved one, a pet, these things are immensely stressful. However, if you are building paradigm structures and routines where you know you have the support, you know you have the mental health, you know you have everything around you that's supporting you because you've done this over and over and over again, then one major stressor isn't going to derail your entire equilibrium because you have these things in place so you know you can bounce back. I'll give one quick example, which is very fitting in this Capricorn new moon energy. So a week ago, my wrist got tweaked at the gym, or just something that I did. And this was like from a wrist injury I've had from many moons ago, back when I was still serving and bartending. And sometimes it flares up. And I got momentarily frustrated. My Aries moon took over, and I was like, why does this always happen? Da 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 da. Like, had my moment to vent. And I was like, this is just an invitation for me to find better healthcare providers. And I went and looked at my other ones in terms of acupuncturists that I normally go to, and they were all booked up. And there's something in my head, it's like, just keep looking. There's going to be someone better. There's someone better. Like, it was just so intuitively guided. So I found one. And not only did I find one, I've been in Vancouver now for what? Since April. So 10 months-ish, 9, 10 months. And I've never seen this place. There's like holistic doctors, there's RMTs, there's acupuncturists. They do all these different services that I love. And it's aesthetically beautiful, which is something that I haven't found for me. Like, my acupuncturist before was like a hole in the wall. He did the job, so I didn't mind. But also, like, I know for me, my natal moon is in the 4th. In terms of dwelling spaces and just overall beauty, this is something that I value and something that I enjoy. And this woman was amazing. I saw her last week. She's a Capricorn. I'm like, yes, goddess. And can we just talk about feminine energy that's in their Capricorn power? Like, knowing your worth. It kind of reminds you of like Kate Blanchett's character in Lord of the Rings, like this goddess who you do not play with. You come correct. You respect their time because they are on top of it. It's very strict. It's very commanding. It's very powerful. When I see women who have strong Capricorn energy, who really have learned the lessons and taken the time to understand the lessons and domains of Saturn, the ruling planet of Capricorn, it's like, yes. And this acupuncturist was smart, very nurturing, incredible job. So why I'm saying this is there was a moment for me personally, and again, the moon can rule over the body. So for some of you, this Capricorn new moon might be in terms of your body, your health, and how you want to support your body and your health and your emotional well-being moving forward. But this moment of contraction wasn't a deterrent. It wasn't that I was doing anything wrong. It was the fact that I got to expand more. And furthermore, I booked for the rest of the month when that happened last week. For the rest of January, I booked all my RMT, all my acupuncturists. I'm like, everything is scheduled for the next month. And if I have to reschedule, that's fine. But it's all in my dossier, it's all in my journal for the rest of January. So I have no excuse of being too busy. Because again, you have to be honest with yourself when you're saying, I'm too busy, work is really hectic. Again, if you know what your time is worth and your time is linked to health, then the health is going to be your number one priority. You're not going to make excuses because you know what your time is worth. It's the betterment of your health, if that's what you chose, for example. And thus, that's going to be your number one priority. And anything that would deviate from that wouldn't make sense with the new belief around time. So what I'm saying this is because if you're facing a contraction right now, or if there's something that you really want and that you're not getting it, there's going to be an opportunity with this Capricorn new moon to readjust, to bring greater truth, to call in more power. And furthermore, I mean, I've been talking about this for a minute. The fact that Mars is exalted in Capricorn, Mars in Capricorn is very strategic. It's the lesson like, you may have won the battle, but I'm going to win the war. It's like, it doesn't matter if you lose a game, you're going to win the championship because you're being strategic. You're trying different things that you are wanting to call upon and to expand upon. So even for my examples, like calling in the right healthcare providers, calling in the right support for me to know that I have this support long term. And we're also looking at this Mars trine Jupiter almost to the minute. 5 degrees, 7 minutes, 5 degrees, 48 minutes. And so this is such a beautiful time for everyone, but especially if you have dominant Earth energy in your chart. So Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Please do not sleep on this new moon. And I don't even want you to get anxious about missing out because I've been talking to clients this entire week and everyone's already feeling this new moon energy. It's just very likely that there'll either be an idea, an opportunity, or you feeling excited about something that you're wanting to grow. And again, we're wanting to grow this long term. What do you want to grow long term? And even you can see the sun and the moon making that applied sextile to Neptune, your dreams. What are you growing long term towards your dreams? What is your time worth? What are you building that is structured and disciplined and that you can withstand, right? Like Capricorn energy is very much, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And so we want this to be something that you can commit to and that you feel comfortable committing to. So again, a very stereotypical energy of January is everyone signing up for the gym. But let's say you promise yourself, like, I'm going to go to the gym twice a week. And I know I can commit to that. And if I can go more, great. But I want to ensure that I'm showing up for myself. And it's going to be at least 2 times a week because these are my health and nutrition goals. Or maybe it's you're starting to write a book and you've been trying in the past, but this year you're hiring a mentor that you're going to meet with once every 2 weeks. And you are going to commit 1 day a week to sitting down and being able to be in that creative space. Even if nothing is written, you're taking that time to commit to this creative process of the book, whatever that is. But you have to be honest and disciplined with your time so that you can build. These are just all key elements. And I want to share one other story because I think this is really going to emphasize it, right? So for me, especially when I was building Stillwater, I was trying to get my name out there. So I'd go on like platforms, other people's channels, IG lives, and this was all in 2020 during the pandemic. So many of us were at home during this time anyway. And so one of my friends had reached out saying they had this kind of like YouTube talk show that they were pitching it to people that they would love for me to be the astrology correspondent. I'm like, great. And they also said that I would have creative freedom to express my opinions with the astrology. And of course, being a Capricorn rising myself, I'd like to talk about money, about stocks, about investments. And this was like a couple months in, and I just noticed that my friend's partner in this collaboration was not aligned with me, but also with my friend, I could see some disparaging opinions and beliefs. I'm like, this is never going to grow because you guys are approaching this in 2 different ways. So it's likely not going to get picked up. It's likely not going to make money. And intuitively, I realized that I was doing it out of obligation to the friend, not because I thought it would benefit me long term. So I had a choice of either sticking with this or trusting my intuition, saying, this is not going to support me long term because their beliefs and ideals aren't even aligned anyway. So when I told them that, my friend was understanding, his partner pushed back a little bit and said, you said this, you said that. I'm like, yes, I did say this and I did say that, and I upheld my part of that obligation and my responsibility. But these things that I was promised and I was told yes to have not been upheld. And I want to create other opportunities for me to have this expression and be able to state how I feel without being monitored and censored or saying, you can't do this. And they're understanding. And literally that same day, as I finished up the last recording with them, I then had a call with a client, and then they wanted to meet and start coaching with me. So literally I was meeting with them every Friday for at least an hour, if not more. And then sometimes we'd be talking on Thursday in terms of strategy to what to shoot and record on Friday. And then once I was done that, once I released that energy of what I did not want to build long term, literally within the hour, I had the money in hand versus this talk show, which I wasn't getting paid anything. It was the potential of making money. Once I felt into it intuitively, I was honest with myself and I knew that I didn't want to grow. So I would recommend all of you to be honest as well of where you're putting forth your time. Is this time best serving you long term? And if the answer is no, then you need to have these honest conversations, maybe these uncomfortable conversations with certain people in your life so that you're starting to build what needs to occur or that you wish to grow to be happy in 6 months' time or for the rest of your life. And remember this, and I know this might sound obvious, but when you say yes to something, you're also saying no to something else. When I say yes to a client and to book them in, I'm saying no to other things. If I know I have a full day of clients, the day before, I'm not going to be going out. I'm not going to be partying. I'm not going to be doing all these things, obviously, because I'm then going to show up for my clients on the next day. And I've also had people be disappointed or upset with me because I've had to cancel, especially like romantic situations. And I will tell them, I am feeling tired. I don't want to show up to a date half-assed. And I know that I need to rest this day so I can be of service to my clients, which I already committed to, right? What are you committing your time to? And people that are entrepreneurs often understand that people that, in my experience, are not entrepreneurs or haven't run their own business. I get this. But again, if people have never done what you are doing and are going to higher levels, then they may not understand your commitment to your goals or to your dreams. And so that's what you have to be honest with in who are you spending your time around? And are they supportive to the energy that you are maintaining? Because again, we've talked about this before, that if you go to certain relationships and they lower your frequency, then you have to spend time building back your frequency to where it was before you even met them. And we've all had experiences before where you see someone in 5 minutes of just talking to them on the phone, in person, you feel like your elevated frequency is now here. You're like, great, just after 5 minutes, I feel amazing. I feel like I can go back and have that inspiration. That's the vibe we're going for, is being surrounded by that energy. I mean, for me, it's going to the gym. Like, I go to a very beautiful gym. There are a lot of beautiful, successful people. That inspires me to go back and start killing it, or at least enjoying my time in that frequency where I'm exerting a lot of energy. That's going to be different for everyone. For some, it might be in their backyard. For some, it might be with their family. For some, it might be with their close friends that they want to see every day. Whatever that is for you, I encourage you to start spending more time in the frequency that you want to build, being conscientious with your time and ensuring that if you're going to say yes to someone or something, it's in alignment because you're saying no to something else. And what you're saying yes to should be in alignment with your dreams and your goals naturally. All right. So with that being said, the homework, if you so choose to accept it with this Capricorn new moon, I'm going to post in the description of this video. I'm not sure if you all can hear that. There's like a child screaming, which also we'll take this into account. This has actually come up in a lot of client sessions this week where something in the middle of a session happens, often with children. But this is interesting. And that's also a young boy that is next door. So this could be in regards to your your inner child masculine. This could be what you want to build, what you've always wanted to build, what you're wanting to create, what your inner child wants to be heard in terms of their masculine energies. And this again might be obvious, but it's like, what is that you want? Like, what do you want to build? And be honest with that and be proud of what you're wanting. It's like, if you want the relationship, cool, then you're going to attune your time to be in accordance with the relationship you're calling in. If you want more money, if you want a better job, if you want better health, like allow that loud kind of inner child to be like, I want this. Why aren't we getting this? Kind of like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Which is also in relation to time. And that might be somewhat you're feeling like, I can just feel it's so close. This new moon is here, but the new moon is here to ground you. This is earth energy with Capricorn, right? It's here to ground you, to sustain you long term. Now, the homework, I'm going to post the questions in the description. And I posted these questions on Stillwater's Instagram. But what I also want to add to this is, have things changed in the past week? And also for you to feel into the frequency of each and every question. Like, one of the questions is, what are you saying yes to? One of the questions is, what are you saying no to? Feel yourself saying yes to these things. Yes to prioritizing me. Yes to prioritizing my body. Yes to prioritizing relationships. Yes to prioritizing my boundaries, and feel good about them. Because remember, you have to feel the feelings first. You have to believe it's even possible first for your external reality to mirror what you're feeling. It's very rare for your external reality to completely shift how you internally feel. And if it does, it often is fleeting and you can't rely on it. So then people get anxious, depressed, or worried again, because like, what if that doesn't happen again? If you build the structures internally with your mindset and your beliefs, an off day, a contraction day is just that. It's an off day. Oftentimes when Mercury is being fun, or Mars or Saturn. So with that being said, it's the internal work first. We have to feel these feelings, know it's possible, believe it's possible, and then we're going to start seeing the external reality. That's like if someone came and gave you a whole bunch of fresh produce from their garden. You're like, amazing, now I feel good. I can have a dinner party. I can create these amazing dishes. But you may not be able to rely on that all the time. Maybe certain years those people are on holidays and not even creating a garden. So you have to be able to know that you can plant the garden, that you know that you can harvest the produce from that garden on your own. And if you so happen to be blessed with amazing produce from others on certain occasions, that's great, but you're not reliant on it for you to be fed. I trust that makes sense. And of course, if you're wanting additional support, my 2024 astrology guide with all the transits to help you prepare for the entire year is available on sale until January 15th. And for any new client that signs on for a coaching contract with yours truly, they will receive 30 days of unlimited support via text and voice note and email, which is basically like having a coach, a mentor, an astrologer in your back pocket when you need that support to stay accountable. So if that is something that you are wanting, I will put the links in the description of this video, along with the questions. And of course, if there's anything else that you're curious about, and especially too, it would be cute, and I think really nice as a community, if you feel comfortable to share what your time is worth, what you are calling in with this Capricorn new moon, so we can all allow this to be seen and supported. And there might be things that you're keeping close to your heart, but it can also be an overall energy that you're feeling with what you've already been experiencing in 2024. I know for me, I have been really dedicated with my time more so on an health. I mean, hello, we love the green smoothie. For me, it's like, no, there's no other, especially after my past year and a half with seeing many doctors who had many opinions that I did not agree with. I've just learned how you get to be your own bodyguard. You get to be your own nutritionist. You get to be your own holistic practitioner to really feel into your body what it needs. And also for me, getting to be able to transform your body and knowing what works. And then I can help share that knowledge with my clients, with my following, so that when they're given a diagnosis, a prognosis, that's one option, but there are many other options. One of my greatest feelings is when clients come back, they're like, I feel so much better. I don't have any more pain. This work, this work, this work. I'm like, amazing. Because when you feel safe in your body, again, we're talking about the new moon. The moon is very much linked with our physical body, and Capricorn rules the bones. So it is literally the framework that supports us, right? Bones and knees for Capricorn. And that's very Saturnine as well, as like these boundaries, these structures that support us. But when you feel safe in your body, then you get to enjoy that relationship that you're craving. You know you have the freedom to move, to travel, that you have the stamina to work hard and push your boundaries to create more and support other people. So if that is also something that you're calling in, just from my own personal experience, it's very validating. It's very affirming that you are then taking this accountability for your body, for your health, for your longevity, and knowing that health is wealth. If you have health, you can literally achieve anything. Every day that you are pain-free and can rely on your body is a true blessing. So that's my contribution of like, my time is related to my best possible health. That is what my time is worth, is divine health. Period. So I'm wishing you all a fabulous new moon. Feel free to share your blessings. And if you want additional support, the links are in the description, all right? I'll talk to you soon. Bye.